Here's another really funny one. Fox News interviewed Barron Trump's friend, a 17-year-old named Bo Loudon, as if this is where we're going to learn about what's happening in the dynamics of this race. This is just so funny. And I don't know what is actually funnier or more tragic. Is it funnier or more tragic that Fox News brings on Bo Loudon as a serious political analyst rather than just the extraordinarily biased friend of Barron Trump? Or is it funnier and more tragic that Bo Loudon seems to have actually memorized the widely failed MAGA talking points? Take a listen to this. This is scary stuff.
What issues are so essential to the Gen Z voter that the Trump campaign needs to hammer home in order to win them over?
Well, I think, there's a lot of statistics being put out on how unhappy Gen Z is with their finances, with how brutal our economy is. And that's the number one thing Trump did. Trump had a booming economy. Our economy thrived on he didn't run America, like all these other presidents. He ran it like a businessman.
Right. And of course, it's so funny because he's got all the right talking points, but the talking points are 8 years old and they make no sense because Trump's had so many failed businesses. We have no evidence that a country should be run like a business. He's getting the talking points from when he was 8 years old and repeating them without them making any sense. And it's sort of funny, but also really sad to see this.
And he made it thrive like one of his businesses. So, with President Trump, people know that their pockets will be full and they know that their families will be protected. Their border will be secured.
It's like, what does that even mean? Their pockets will be full. Wage growth relative to inflation has been far higher under Biden than under Trump. The stock market has performed better under Biden than under Trump. Unemployment's been lower with fewer people out of work under Biden rather than under Trump. So he's got the talking points. They just don't make any sense.
And, it is interesting how Kamala's kind of chasing Trump's accomplishments like a
Notice he even has the mispronunciation of Kamala down. Kamala.
Trail of cookies. He wants to say no tax on tips, which is great for a lot of Gen Z. Put me in the hard 9 to 5 hours. And now she's saying no tax on tips. And he wants to secure the border and keep us safe. Now she wants to secure the border. But the thing is, everyone's saying, you're president now. You're in the office now. Why not do it now? I don't know. Instead of making all these promises.
Right now, for voters between the ages of 18 and 29, they prefer Kamala over Trump by about 16%. So to that Gen Z voter who's really caught up in the Kamala honeymoon right now and planning to vote for her, what would you say to change their mind? 20 seconds to you, Bo.
Well, I wouldn't put my biggest support in someone that thinks I'm stupid. Because that's what Kamala said. 18 to 24-year-olds are stupid. And Trump loves the youth. Gen Z loves Trump. And he's got the support. And he is going to do great things for not just Gen Z, but all voters. And
all right. So anyway, you get the picture. It's really scary when you see stuff like this because I have a chapter in my forthcoming book, The Echo Machine. Any real critical thinking, media literacy and epistemology curriculum starting, at age 8, 9, something like that, probably inoculates a guy like this from ever falling into this stuff, except not when it's what your parents and your friend Barron Trump believes. That's the really difficult thing. So for a lot of people, shoring up education would prevent falling into this kind of trap political black hole to begin with. But he's got the talking points down. It doesn't matter that they don't make sense. He presents them confidently, just as I'm sure Barron Trump would, because he learned it from his dad, Donald Trump, confident even about things that you know very little about.